Richmar Florist makes every day a special day, from weddings and large events to that little something for any occasion. Richmar Florist has the perfect floral expression, and they're open online 24/7 at richmarflorist.com. Everywhere, every day. Richmar's 2 retail locations offer a fantastic selection of floral creations, gifts, and home decor. Book your free consultation in our showroom for your special event needs, and visit us online at richmarflorist.com today.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Gateway 100 presented by CK Power. I'm your host, Michael Goodman, and along with me, as always, is David Westergreen. David, tonight we got a little special event brewing up for the Elite Racing League. We got pro drivers, we got sim racers. This should be a pretty good night tonight.
It's a little bit of a versus race tonight. Elite guys trying to prove that our league is absolutely the best. The pro guys trying to remind them that, hey, you guys are still just a bunch of dudes on a computer. We got Kaz Grala in here. We got Brennan Poole, a couple of guys who have run the Cup Series very recently. We've got TJ Majors, who's Dale Jr.'s longtime spotter in here, as well as current Xfinity Series driver Brandon Brown. Got drag racer Ron Capps as well. This is Daniel Dye, who's an ARCA driver and a super late model driver. Bunch of these guys coming in trying to maybe take away a little bit of bragging rights from the Elite Racing League tonight. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it should be fun. As of right now, you look at the qualifying leaderboard, we do have a couple of sim guys that are topping the charts. I believe the top 5, I think we can go all the way down to top 6 right now are the elite racers so far. But again, some of these guys can make one fast lap, but these guys know they have experience racing in all different sorts of facets. I believe Daniel Dye's ARCA Series racer there as well in that 43 truck, as we see him going around track for qualifying. We just looking through the list of names that are in here, David. All different formats of racing. Again, Ron Capps, NHRA, funny car driver. Used to driving a straight line. He's taking a tackle at turning left tonight. And there's RC Enerson, another one of the pro drivers. What do you call him? Pro slash? I think they're calling him a pro, but he does partake in a lot of elite racing events too.
What's really cool about this race is we have RC Anderson and Jeff Green, 2000 Busch Series champion Jeff Green, both in this event. And both of those guys run every week with Elite Racing, which just goes to show you how tough the competition is over in Elite Racing. We got a number of our sim guys out here taking part, as well as these pro guys. It's the tough part is like RC Anderson. He's won a race so far this year, but he by no means comes in and he wins sometimes. But I think he got his first Elite Cup Series win last week. So the talent gap here, these sim guys, they're going to show off and they're going to do their best. I mean, the top sim guy is going to get 2 tickets to Gateway or WWT Raceway for the IndyCar and Truck Series weekend this fall.
Yeah, it should be exciting. I know a lot of guys that are chomping at the bit to see who can get those 2 tickets. Very generous of the World Wide Technology Speedway or Raceway, sorry, to give that out here tonight. And as you see right now, we do have a little bit of a heat race going on, kind of just rounding out the grid. I think there's going to be 5 trucks in this race.
We'll have to double check whether or not it has anything. I don't believe it has any bearing.
Any bearing on the lineup? Okay, yeah, nothing. This does no bearing on the lineup, so this is just kind of something they had to do to get the lobby set up correctly. So maybe they'll put on a show, maybe they won't. But I guess this is the kind of the opportunity, David. We can go through who's kind of helped put on this event here tonight, and who helps us with a lot of elite racing events.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan. For one, we need to thank Chad Frankenfield, who's kind of the head of Elite Racing and does a great job on it, on putting together these events, kind of picking out the pro drivers. And then, we've got sponsors to read out here. So, we ran out and got Richmar Florist Racing there. Their commercial aired right at the beginning of this broadcast, and they're a partner that's really helped us put together a good show. another broadcast partner that we have is C2 Freight. They are Jeff Green's sponsors in both, like when he was running the Xfinity Series and then of his car while he's running in Elite Racing. C2 Freight offers complete freight management services. They are ready to meet your needs today as well as changing needs in the future. With thousands of qualified carriers in their database, they're capable of handling shipping for every type of goods, from perishable foods to office equipment. Whatever you need to ship, they have the access to necessary equipment, including flatbeds, double drops, vans, tankers, refrigerated equipment, multi-axle, heavy haulers, dump trucks, auto carriers, and intermodal containers. They also offer electronic data interchange services, which allows shippers to keep close electronic tabs on their shipments throughout the freight movement process. For more information about that, you can contact C2 Freight. And we do appreciate all that they've done for Elite Racing. Happy to have them on board as a sponsor and for this event, with this heat kind of not mattering in the scheme of forcing the lineup. We're able to kind of focus on C2 Freight for a second.
Yeah, and another company that kind of helped put the show on, or helps put on events each and every week, is a McConey Setup Shop. And McConey Setup Shop LLC is a company founded in May of 2020, based around iRacing simulated racing platform, and they cater to a customer's range of skill, from brand new to the service to multi-year users of iRacing. They offer setups for 14 different cars each week, all of each found at McConeySetupShop.com. And you can also check them out on Twitter at McConey Setup Shop, and like their face, search them on Facebook, give them a like, and grab all your setups and start working your way up towards the front. So yeah,
this is perfect. They sponsor this guy right here, number 89, Brent Jones, in the Elite Monday Night Series, the SMRI Grand National Series for Elite Racing. So yeah, Brent Jones is one of those guys. Ryan Gavel as well, as they run each other over in this meaningless heat. Two guys who really run to get well together.
I'm worried now. I know it's meaningless, and oh boy, here they go. He's farting around finishing here, but hopefully that didn't set up the broadcaster's jinx. Again, I know this heat didn't mean much, but that could be a setup for this one. So hopefully we maybe knock on wood, and the cars we show tonight on track are all racing clean, racing hard, and putting on a good show for us that will get underway in just a few minutes.
Yeah, here at the Elite Racing Network, we are absolutely atrocious at the broadcaster's jinx. I mean, we'll have to be very careful. So we apologize if we're just talking about your favorite driver and all of a sudden they're in a crash. It's entirely possible.
Yeah, that's kind of sometimes the way it goes. And here you can look at our starting lineup. Again, this is the Gateway 100 presented by CK Power, and tonight 80 laps around this track here, David, and some shifting involved going into these corners too, as you'll see the lineup scrolled and you pick out your favorite driver in the field. But that's where this track, it kind of has almost a flat Darlington-esque type feel. You throw that shifting in there, and it almost feels like this is kind of one of those tracks, those ovals that maybe could cater to some guys that are maybe a little bit better in the road courses kind of events. It's all about getting that car slowed down in the 1 and 2, and how good you can keep it on the mat coming out of turn number 4. It's going to be kind of interesting. There's a lot of tracks that kind of reminds you of like a Darlington/Pocono. I think this, if you're unfamiliar with Gateway or World Wide Technology Raceway, it's a very unique style track, and I think they're going to put on a pretty good show here tonight.
Yeah, it drives like a short track on one end, and it drives like a mile and a half on the other end. But you still have to be very careful with, or I guess like a mile track, like a New Hampshire, on the other end. You have to get this car really woed down, and then shift into third gear, gas it up down the straightaways, and that shift can really determine whether or not you're getting absolutely blown away down the straightaways.
Yeah, and you're going to have to get that bite on the bottom of the corner. Sometimes it's going to be interesting to see. It's the combination too of just not getting that wheel spin, and we'll see what happens here as they're getting ready to go green with Colin Fern on the pole and Presley Sora on the outside of him in that number 98 truck. I think on the ticker it will say he's in the 30. We might be working through that a little bit here, but bear with us. But as we get ready to go racing here in the Gateway 100 presented by CK Power. And as the pace car ducks off, they'll be getting ready to go green. And Colin Fern gets the jump, and we are racing. And Fern with a great jump. I don't know if he was a great jump or if Sora didn't get the best of restarts there, but Colin Fern easily takes it coming out of turn number 2. And behind him is going to be Lutz and Rexing battling for that 3rd spot. Lutz is going to take a look on the inside going into turn number 3. Let's see if he has anything for him.
Ryan Lutz is one of the staples of the Elite Racing League. He's one of our best drivers, easily one of our most important championship contenders. Jared Rexing is the last Elite Racing winner here at the WWT Raceway. So, you know, if we're picking a sim driver that's had success at this track, you know, Jared Rexing is definitely a guy to bet on in this Nesquik number 10.
Yeah, and you know, you're talking about Lutz. He's trying to do something I don't think has been done in Elite before. He won Sunday night in our regular Old Testament Firearms Truck Series. He won last night in our SMRI Productions Grand National Series. He's trying to pull a full week of Elite Racing event sweep, so he's going to be on the move, looking to get up towards the front, as well as we look back here for the battle for 9th spot is Daniel Dye, and I believe that's TJ Majors with him.
TJ Majors is in front of this battle. He's up in 8th.
Okay, there we go.
Simon Sykes there.
Simon Sykes there. 09. Okay, there we go. Again, trying to get used to the different car numbers here for the event tonight. So again, bear with us. I apologize for sometimes some of the confusions. But actually, the 09 was the correct number on that truck, so that was my bad.
Embedded in there with three of those pro drivers there, as Sykes and Dye do battle, is that 51, and it will be the 2 on your ticker, is Harrison Talon, one of our Elite Racing drivers, running really well so far here tonight, and right behind TJ Majors. That's got to be pretty cool. You know, and Damian Leininger right in front of these guys at 7. He had just posted a picture of him racing with Brandon Brown. The opportunity for these Elite Racing drivers that have not necessarily been able to be on track with pros such as these, it's got to feel really good.
You know, some of you might be watching at home, you know, you hear the name TJ Majors. A lot of you might think you're known from being like Dale Earnhardt Jr. spotter back when Dale Jr. raced in the Cup Series. But it's an honor if you get to race against him in this sim. He is one of the best, and I believe that's kind of how he got his gig into being a spotter in NASCAR, was from kind of getting to be buddies with Dale Jr. running on the sim, and he is one of the better ones to race against. So if you can keep up with TJ Majors, you're doing something right.
Yep, I know Colin Fern has run with us in the lead a little bit this season as the leader. He's also part of Brandon Brown's team in the Xfinity Series, and that's part of why Brandon was able to join us tonight for this race. Fern doing an excellent job so far, pacing over Presley Sora. This track at WWT is a bit of a track position track. Pretty difficult to pass as Ryan Lutz goes underneath Jared Rexing for 3rd, and R.C. Anderson also trying to take over 5th from Andrew Rucker.
It's hard to sometimes pass on that inside with the shifting. You can break it loose pretty easy on the bottom of the track, but so far, guys like Lutz, RC, he's still working on Rucker there a little bit, as he looks like he's going to do a little bit of a slide job and get around, but Rucker might be looking to cross him over. Nope, they're going to tuck back in line and keep on going, so give the 5th spot to RC Anderson.
I don't know if you guys noticed this 12 car, the 12 truck and the 36 truck, and just how striking they look out there. Ryan Lutz did paint both of those trucks, hand painted them himself, and did an absolutely wonderful job. So just big shout out to him. I mean, just threw on some absolutely gorgeous paint schemes for himself and Damian Leininger there. Those guys were really looking forward to battling around up here in the top 10.
Yeah, battling it out and showing off their sponsors and cool looking trucks. Yeah, Ryan Lutz does a great job designing his own trucks and stuff like that, and even can take some requests, I believe, sometimes, and paint some for some people. So if you're ever looking for anybody to paint a truck, contact Ryan Lutz.
For sure, yeah. That's kind of the idea there is, man. So iRacing, you know, and if anybody's new to iRacing, the smoke you keep seeing on the screen is coming from the trucks loading up onto the broadcast and in the sim. This is kind of an iRacing deal. No actual crashes are happening, and if there are, we'll find a way to show them to you.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. You know, you're on. You know, you're racing online. You're racing. You know, over the internet. Sometimes connection issues do happen. I always call them that's sometimes the mechanical failures that you'd see in the real world. Internet issues are kind of that version in iRacing. And it can be sometimes scary if you're ever out there racing, if you ever get an opportunity to get on the sim and someone's either blinking or, you know, the smoke comes up like that. Sometimes you never know if it's a crash or not, but yeah, we'll do our best to pick a crash out, and if that happens, hopefully not. Hopefully everyone gets home clean here tonight and race pretty hard. But so far we're on lap 10 of 80, and Colin Fern is still holding on to the lead. He's got about a 0.2 second lead over Presley Sora.
Yeah, we've been keeping our eye back there in the middle of the top 10. Also trying to keep my eye back on some of those pros in the mid-pack, Brennan Poole, Brandon Brown among them. Just trying to see their progress. I think they're both up to the mid-50, like about 15th, 16th or 15th. Yeah, here they are right here, battling each other actually. Along with Shane DiMantova for ID Racing, one of our elite racing drivers, now pulling inside Brennan Poole. That's a pretty cool sight there. You know, a teammate of mine in the Elite Racing League now running up against, you know, a guy running the NASCAR Cup Series.
Yeah, that's got to be a huge honor anytime you can get on the sim and race against these guys who regularly compete in the Cup Series. Again, Brown competing in the Xfinity Series. Kind of neat to see that as well. So good run for Shane. Oh! Hangs on to it. Wow, that was a close one there for Brennan Poole, getting a little loose, and he's going to lose another position to Ryan Gavel. He's going to fall all the way back in the 19th spot, and he's going to have some heat behind him with our 2019 winner of the Snowball Derby, Travis Braden, another one of the pros, and Joshua Clark. They're looking to chomp down and take advantage, but so far they have to tuck back in line. But that was a good save there. But you can see the experience of real world driving with that save.
Oh man, Brennan Poole, you could tell that was a Cup Series save right there. I love this battle. A bunch of sim drivers in here: Josh Clark, Ryan Gavel, Shane DiMantova, right around Travis Braden, last year's Snowball Derby winner, and Brennan Poole.
Yeah, they're big names with the regular sim guys. It's always awesome to see here. As right now, looks like Travis Braden's going to try to look on the inside here of Brennan Poole going down to turn 1. This is where you're going to see maybe a little slide job. It's hard to pass. It's hard to keep control on that bottom. These guys know what they're doing. They make it look pretty easy there. And then what update at their leader, and it kind of looks like Colin Fern is still holding on to the lead, but Presley Sora is closing in behind. Oh, no, actually Ryan Lutz. Ryan Lutz going for the second spot. So it looked like Presley was closing in on Fern, but Ryan Lutz, he's going to try to go lead. That lap car might get in the way. Ooh. Sora able to collect it there. The 84 truck trying to stay out of the way. Sometimes kind of hard to do, but he's going to lose a lot of time on the top 2 as Ryan Lutz overtakes that second position, and he's got his eyes set on Colin Fern in the lead.
Ryan Lutz is, like we said, going for that kind of elite sweep. He's won every race so far this week, looking to make it one more. The 84 truck, I believe, actually had a bit of an incident on lap 1 with Stefan Wilson. So that's one of our pros there in the 84. Dropping back a little bit, Ryan Garvey, I believe.
Yeah, I believe he's late model driver, a dirt late model driver, I believe, if I'm not mistaken on that.
I think he's also up in the ARCA series here soon too. So,
oh yeah,
I think he's new to the sim, I believe. So, good run early, but yeah, had that a bit of misfortune, and he will have to benefit from that lap 40 caution that will be coming up here. We'll have like a halfway caution to kind of shake things up in the middle of the race. So now we'll go to our production guy, Rish of Kosla. He's my co-announcer on Wednesdays for the Elite Cup Series. And yeah, what do you got, Rish?
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of wanted to build on that. You just mentioned that halfway caution that we've got. Another big thing that, especially for our viewers who've come over from some of the official iRacing broadcasts that they've done in the past, there are no fast repairs. So you might have heard the likes of Clint Boyer or Jeff Gordon talking about those, where you've got basically a freebie where if you wreck your car, you can bring it down pit road and within 5 seconds you've got a brand new car once again. These drivers don't have that at their disposal. There's a lot of things. This is very much going to be all about minimizing mistakes, as you see this great battle going on for the lead, but minimizing mistakes is going to be the key to winning this race for any of the pro or sim drivers here tonight.
Ryan Lutz going for the lead, but Colin Fern denying it, and I think you're absolutely right there, Rich. But this battle for the lead is really heating up right when we brought you in there.
It's really intense here, and you can see how hard it is to stay on that bottom and make the pass and make it work. And, you know, as Rich was just talking about, you have that halfway yellow as they still battle side by side coming out of turn 2, and they're drag racing down the backstretch. How hard would you run, David? Because you have that caution at lap 40. But, you know, these two guys, they're not known for letting it, they usually kind of balance being between aggressive and conservative on the tires and stuff like that. But on one end, you know you can kind of burn up your tires a little bit because you're going to get a caution about 20 laps at the very longest. And man, this battle just side by side, hanging on, and it looks like Lutz will take the advantage, but Fern's looking, makes a little contact with the rear bumper. Man. But what a battle here! So I guess they are answering my question for me. They're going to ramp up the aggressiveness here and try to go for that lead. But with that battle, David, that also closed in Presley and Rexing right behind them.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yes, I would go pretty hard here. You know, Ryan Lutz isn't running for points in this. You know, this is a single one-off race. You crash. The worst thing that happened is you don't get to go to Gateway on Gateway. This August, so it's all right. You definitely want to push hard here, as Colin Fern absolutely pushing himself into the wall, trying to chase down Ryan Lutz once again. These two battle really hard, but no, the battling side by side brings Presley Sora and Jared Rexing right up to you, so you don't necessarily want to stay side by side like that. Colin Fern just needs to kind of bide his time, cool his tires off, and try to get another run on Ryan Lutz.
Yeah, he's gonna work on, maybe those two cars pulling away as they did earlier in the event. But right now, I mean, just shows you how evenly matched they are between Fern and Lutz. I mean, they've kind of maintained this distance no matter who was in front or who was in the, who was in second. But I still cannot believe it was about a lap and a half or 2 laps that they were running side by side throughout the corners. And usually that's very hard to do here at Gateway, so they put on a masterful piece of driving there to keep that clean and keep it done. But it looks like ahead of them, about to go a lap down, is Kaz Grala in that 61 truck. Looks like there's some heavy damage to the rear end of his machine.
Yeah, Kaz Grala definitely been in the wall in the 61 Lee filter car. You hate to see it. One of the Cup Series drivers that made the Daytona 500 this year for Colleague Racing did a wonderful job till he got caught up in a crash. Beautiful paint scheme car, and hopefully Kaz gets another couple of chances this year to run in the Cup Series for Colleague and put a good finish on for him. Definitely having a real bit of a rough night tonight.
Yeah, it's so. Oh, it looks like he's almost missing half of his bumper there, but yeah, this track is so tricky. I mean, a lot of these guys are making it look smooth, making it look easy, but especially with that shifting and how crazy, as you can see, Daniel Dye getting a little squirrely coming off the corner in that 43 truck as he's battling with Alexander Van de Sant and Andrew Rucker, and that's kind of battling for the 9th spot right now, as Daniel Dye is going to look on the inside going out of turn number 4. Who's going to win it?
Yep, you got Jordan Owens right there in the 16 car. He's our Productions, one of our announcers on Monday nights in the SMRI Home Place Series, battling right in front of Derek Lemke, one of our pros. So another just big battle of trucks, all with intermixed of our elite racers and our pros. Man, this is just a spectacle of a race so far. It's been really fun to watch.
Yeah, it's just cool to see, again, some of these guys that might not have the opportunity to get their names out there, kind of on a regular basis. guys kind of like, like Damian, Rucker, and Jordan Owens too, and having, Owens, up in the 13th spot, pretty respectable position. I'm sure he wants more as he's battling side by side with Lemke right behind this battle we're watching with Rucker and Daniel Dye. But I think Lemke's going to get by in that 71 truck. Ooh, looks like the 97 truck just got in the wall a little bit. And that's so easy to do when you're shifting coming out of that, 1 and 2. That's kind of the bank corner at this track at World Wide Technology Raceway. And right when you get back on the throttle and you're still in third gear, the car gets so squirrely. And we've seen that so many times tonight, David. And sometimes the wall almost has to straighten you out a little bit.
Yeah, Gateway, you're driving straight for so long there that if you don't get the perfect exit off of these kind of banked corners, you saw Ryan Gallo totally sideways there in the 07 truck. You're not perfectly straight exiting these corners. It'll suck you right in. Derek Lemke here pulling away a little bit from Jordan Owens, and I've kind of had my eye on this 07 truck of Ryan Gallo. One of our elite racing drivers has moved up from starting way in the back. He was in the heat race, remember, and he has driven all the way through the field, the 14th spot. This might be one of those guys to watch once we get that halfway caution. If he can maybe get a little bit of track position on pit road.
Yeah, it's who is we see?
Rucker goes around.
Oh, is he gonna save it? He does. I thought he was going around too. The 64 truck of Andrew Rucker able to make an incredible save, keep it going, but unfortunately for him, he's going to lose a bunch of spots. And as he collects himself up, and now it's just about probably for him getting back in that rhythm, for the next 11 laps until that halfway caution, and hopefully he can work his way back up towards the front.
That just shows how loose these trucks are coming off the corners. These guys after the shift have to really get in the gas, and definitely can be a bit of a handful. Rucker, the first one to actually really lose the truck off the corner so far, but we have seen several guys sideways.
Yeah, and again, a lot of times those guys would use the wall to straighten themselves up. You seen that kind of pack with Daniel Dye and Rucker there earlier, just getting off the corner, how squirrely it can be. Again, these guys doing a masterful job. As there's Thomas Sherman battling Gavel. Oh, almost overdrove the corner a little bit, had to back off just a hair, but he looks like he's going to get that drive off if he can hang on to it, as they're going to drag race down the backstretch. And this is going to be a battle for 13th spot, and those are two elite regulars battling side by side.
The more they battle, the more it brings Brandon Brown up to these guys. The NASCAR Xfinity Series driver, sitting in 15th, really not abusing his stuff, not doing too much, just kind of holding station. It's Kaz Grala, man. We've seen him a couple of times today, and it's just not been a great day so far for Kaz Grala, and just goes to show how tough this thing is, man. Kaz is absolutely one of the more talented drivers. Last year, he took an RCR car to top 10 finish in the Daytona Road Course.
Yeah, so I mean, he thought this, usually runs pretty well when he used to be a Truck Series regular in the Camping World Truck Series. I believe that when he ran for, was it GMS? I believe he did back in, a couple of years ago, and kind of struggling a little bit tonight. But you never know. Get a lucky dog, get back on the lead lap. And as we look now, TJ Majors is gonna get a mirror of RC Anderson as they battle for that 6th position.
So this would be the #1 pro driver so far as TJ Majors in the 22. But tough sledding for some of these guys. RC Anderson is kind of known for burning the tires off of it. He'll be very fast and pull out, and I think that's maybe what's happening here. He's fallen back a little bit after driving away from TJ Majors earlier in the run. But only 7 more laps till the caution, when RC Anderson can come and get tires, and then see what he's got for the top 5, which are all of our elite racing sim drivers.
Yeah, and it's one thing for RC too. He if he burnt his tires up in these 33 laps so far that we ran, he's got to kind of maybe take notes and maybe be a little more conservative on the rubber once we're in the second half of this race, so he doesn't do it again. Do also have to mention working his way up from the 4th spot to the 3rd spot is Jared Rexing in that 10 truck. So kind of cool to see him advancing through the top 5 as well. Again, there's Damian Leininger. He's going to be battling Presley Sora for the 4th position. So a couple guys trying to work their way up front and setting themselves up for the second half of this event. And
yeah, Damian's real smooth so far today. He's been one of our most unlucky elite racing drivers. Top 5 speed, for our series, just about everywhere we go, and manages to get caught up in a crash just about every time. And here's a guy we're going to put a lap on that we probably want to mention is the 28 of Ron Capps.
Yeah, Ron Capps, again, a funny car driver in the NHRA drag racing series. Runs the Napa car, and usually he's number 28. So I think he's honoring. I believe that's an old dragster. I don't know if it's one of his own or not, but it's kind of a cool looking paint scheme he has there. But always kind of cool. He likes to run some of the elite racing series with us as well, and I know he's been in a couple other pro series events across iRacing, so kind of cool to see him dabbling with the common folk, I guess you could say. Kind of neat to see him out there, and although not having the best luck tonight, he's always a guy to watch out for as well once he hit the track.
Yeah, definitely enjoying watching these guys, our elite guys, get to run with the Ron Cappses and the RC Andersons of the world. Yeah, it's been a great show so far, and man, did Jared Rexing just lag out? Nope. Yeah, he's in and out. He might be blinking a little bit. So one feature of iRacing is that when you've got a poor connection, which was actually the thing plaguing Damian Leininger last night, as we kind of watch him and Presley Sora battle for 4th spot, your car will leave the track momentarily. I think that just happened at the 10 of Jared Rexing up in 3rd place. He seems to be back for now. A lap on 89 of Brett Jones. A 40-lap run, certainly a long one, and it's definitely gotten where Ryan Lutz is putting cars 1 lap behind.
Yeah, they're hitting lap traffic right now. That is for sure. And with all these cars out here, I believe most of these cars are still on the racetrack, if not all of them. There's quite a few that are still on the track here anyway. About 37 cars still on track. So, as far as internet speed, we see, I believe, is that the 89 truck that just blinked out there? That's Leininger. That's kind of affecting him again tonight. It's a little bit of those connection issues, but it's something that does happen occasionally if there's a lot of cars on track. We haven't seen, too many cars wreck out. So something that could affect some of these drivers, but hopefully that doesn't create any issues that will impede on the race so far, as we're getting ready to take the halfway yellow as Ryan Lutz continues to lead this race. As
Ryan Lutz is one of the most incredible drivers I've ever had the pleasure to watch race. He is able to save tires and to go extremely fast at every track that requires you to get on the brake pedal. I don't know how he does it. I've asked him. I've talked, I've watched him do it, and the guy can go fast. He's really, really good. Brother Craig Lutz races in the super late models the modified cars up in the Northeast with guys like Justin Bonsignor. So he's in a racing family, just always really fast every time we run a race. So I guess we'll call it stage 1, first half. Ryan Lutz will be the halfway leader, as we'll take the caution here and wind it up for stage 2.
And Ryan Lutz, again, he's the leader here at halfway, and I can speak to that too, David, about how he just has that fine line of racing aggressively and also saving his tires. I've been on teams with him in other elite racing leagues, and he's tried to help me out and try to do what he does, but it is so hard to do to have that balance of speed and aggressiveness and just being smooth, and he's got that, and he's so far showing that tonight. But here we're going to see these cars duck down pit road, and now it might be a race on who can be the first one off.
Yeah, Ryan Lutz is probably the one to watch out for here on pit road, just in terms of whether or not he can get out first or get out a little bit after some of these other guys. I don't anticipate anyone taking 2 tires. But if we start seeing some cautions in the future, then we will be probably on the lookout for some pit strategy.
Yeah, I think Rish has some other stuff to report here, as we see Colin Fern kind of have a little issues getting in his pit box.
Yeah,
Rish,
well,
what do you got for us?
well, just as you saw there, Colin Fern just a little bit loose there entering pit road or entering his pit box there, spun it around. Shouldn't hurt him too much, but we got about 5 guys or 4 guys who actually decided to stay out on this halfway caution here. So Presley Sora, Damian Leininger, R.C. Enerson, and Simon Sykes all did not come down pit road here with the rest of the field. So so interesting strategy call from those guys, not feeling it necessary to come down for new tires and maybe hoping for a caution within the next couple of laps after this next restart.
Yeah, and sometimes the craziness that could happen after a restart. Certainly, there could be an opportunity for them to get that track position. But David, I kind of wonder on the strategy also, because it would have to be where you'd have to run a few laps, and you don't want to lose too much track position where you can kind of get benefit from this. I don't really see the benefit out of this, but there could be. But I think they only have 2 sets of tires for tonight, so I don't know if that had anything to play with, or I see some of these trucks maybe diving off pit road right now.
So I was going to say, I think they just missed the pit road entrance. At Gateway, it's on the back straightaway, and those guys probably just drove right on past it. It's certainly a mistake that you notice the top 5 now consisting of guys in there that are some of our more pro guys, like, I guess not, maybe not. TJ Majors falling back, might have sped on pit road there. I was going to say TJ Majors up to 3rd, but heading backwards now, so never mind on that. Anyway, yeah, I think that's what happened. Those guys missed pit road. It's on the back straightaway. You have to take the access road to get there here at WWT Raceway. And if we had to make green flag pit stops, which we won't in this race, that would be one of those trouble spots to keep an eye on. Guys kind of losing it in that flat pit road entrance.
Yeah, they kind of got a long warm-up lane that kind of is on the entrance of turn number 3. As you can kind of see it run screen right there for that entrance on pit road. So it's a little unique than from a lot of different tracks that normally run on in the kind of the Cup circuit or NASCAR series as well. So it's kind of a tough break for those guys. They'll have to work their way back up through the field once again. But as of right now, Ryan Lutz is going to be the leader once we go back to green, and I believe Rish has another comment here to make.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys were talking a little bit earlier about that number 28 car driven, or excuse me, not 28 car. Which number? Driven by Ron Capps there. Number 33 in iRacing, but yeah, driving the number 28. One of our great fans here in the race chat. Or in the stream chat, just gave us a little update on that. So from Brian OK 100, so that's actually the Blue Max funny car paint scheme, owned and driven by Raymond Beadle, who is a NASCAR team owner and including Rusty Wallace's 1989 Winston Cup Championship team. So there you go, a little bit of history on the paint scheme here that Ron Capps is running tonight.
That's pretty awesome. I was gonna say once I saw Blue Max on that truck, I did kind of remember that was one of Rusty Wallace's old time kind of teams he ran for. So that's kind of cool. Ron Capps, kicking it old school, and as they're doubling up to go back green, it looks like Ryan Lutz is gonna try to take that outside. As we see, I believe a couple cars taking a wave around here.
Trying to get the field sorted out, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah. So we have some. Oh, it looks like Kaz Grala is smoking a little bit. So I don't know if whatever's going on, we might have a little bit of issues going on. iRacing server issues going on right now. And I think they're going to wave off the restart, and we'll try to get this field sorted out, and hopefully no one's night ended early because of that, although it looked like Kaz Grala, he's not in too good a shape, as you still kind of see that smoke coming from his machine.
Maybe we can go back and take a look at a replay of what might have happened to Kaz Grala there. But yeah, a number of our drivers in the elite race right now showing as logged out, so not a great way to go here. Grala should be here, so
Yes.
either way.
So yeah, Yeah, I don't know what. So yeah, a lot of stuff here kind of unfolding here, but hopefully we get the field straightened out. We did lose quite a few drivers, unfortunately, but
we lost Jordan Owens, Josh Clark, Stefan Wilson, which is one we were definitely looking forward to talking about a little more. I think he had been hanging out in the back. Andrew Rucker's gone. Presley Soro, one of the top 5 guys, is gone. Simon Sykes, one of our pros. Big
yeah,
issue there for iRacing for sure.
yeah, very unfortunate, but just again one of those gremlins that can pop up with internet, I suppose, but kind of unfortunate for them. But hopefully we can get the rest of the show going here without too many other issues. And yeah, so yeah, kind of unexpected issues here, but we're gonna get ready to go back green. Again, Ryan Lutz restarting on the outside with Jared Rexing in second on the inside. And I think that's a good move to get that outside starting position, because you're going to want to be up top on that top groove coming out of turn 2. So this could be the best spot position for him. And how about a guy you've been talking about earlier, Ryan Gavel in that 07 trucks, worked his way all the way up to 4th. We'll see what kind of restart he gets and see if he can compete with Ryan Lutz as the pace truck is off. And Lutz is going to take the green here in the Gateway 100 presented by CK Power. And what a great jump for Ryan Lutz. Oh, there's almost going to be 3 wide there for a second for that second spot. But
Ryan Gavel and Ryan Lutz are teammates in the Elite Cup Series running tomorrow night, Wednesday nights, here on Elite Racing Network. So those guys definitely working together a little bit, I think. Battling with Jared Rexing, trying to get Ryan Gavel up into second. But yeah, what an incredible comeback for this 07 truck. Yeah.
I guess hearing an update here on this is what happened here was a iRacing issue. All their servers had a little bit of a screw up, so unfortunate for those guys that did get booted from this event. But luckily that we have half the field out there yet, and hopefully going to put on a good show for the second half, as Gavel's going to overtake that second spot from Rexing. But here comes Colin Fern, but a block by Rexing, and they're going to be 3 wide tight, but able to keep it going. I thought right there we were going to see our first incident yellow of the night, David, but cooler heads prevailed in that one.
Colin Fern probably could have easily dumped Jared Rexing and not felt bad about it whatsoever. Got a huge block thrown on him there, but hey, you know, this is a special event. You're racing for the top 5, trying to be the top finishing sim driver in this one, and you know, I think we lost Brandon Brown as well, so big disappointment there. We had a great job, great time calling him, and hopefully we don't lose anybody else through this iRacing glitch setup. Our top pro right now, I believe, is Travis Braden here in 6th.
Yeah, Travis Braden, I think right behind him is going to be Daniel Dye in the 43 truck as well. So yeah, kind of thinned out a little bit on the pros here, but still a lot of big names out there putting on a good show for us tonight. And yeah, but I think we still got a pretty good battle going up ahead for that second spot. Third spot, Rexing, and oh no, Gavel's getting heat with Rexing. So this is still a 3-car battle for that second spot. And wow, these guys want to be in that position, but they're all chasing Ryan Lutz, he's pulling away as these 3 trucks are battling bumper to bumper and door to door.
Jared Rexing, the last winner of an Elite Racing race at Gateway, WWT Raceway, and he'll take second from Ryan Gavel. Big move for the 10 car. He's going to throw that block again. Worked out for him last time, but keeps throwing that block down the back straightaway, and he might be in the turn 3 fence.
Yeah, as these laps are ticking down, David, throwing those blocks, that's kind of at your own risk. You know, I think we've seen Fern kind of back out of it. Gavel was just
Contact.
Contact. Oh man, these guys are getting aggressive for that second spot. Ryan Lutz is liking what he sees in his mirror as the 07 and the 10 are battling hard with Colin Fern in that 86 truck as well, trying to get advantage over Rexing as they dive down into turn number 3.
Not really a truck. You know, every time Gavel's been able to get out front, he immediately gets pressured again. These guys don't really, not really like a winner here, but when they straighten out, you know, we've tried to cover all the pros make sure we get the cameras on everybody who's been gracious enough to join us tonight. I think we are missing one guy so far, and that'll be the 29 truck here. That'll be Joshua Hunstbeck. Correct me if I'm wrong on what he runs.
He might have been the dirt late model or dirt late model guy that I thought.
There you go.
I believe that is correct. If I'm gonna look that up quick, and I believe he is.
Yeah, hanging out mid-pack here, running with Ron Capps right now. Rick Garvey, another one of the pros that we've been able to run with so far tonight, running 21st. Those guys picked up a bunch of spots after we had the big issue that took out a couple of our drivers in this one.
I believe Garvey was one of the first trucks we've seen go a lap down tonight, so at least back on the lead lap and trying to make his way up through the field here. So good to see him back up there in contention.
Back up in the top 5 with just a line of trucks behind Colin Fern.
And you got to wonder with these guys, like especially the 86 and the 10, maybe even the 07 thrown there as well. Did they burn up their stuff? I mean, it's still pretty early in the run. You can salvage after running that hard for a few laps. But as we see, Thomas Sherman in that 34 truck, Travis Braden in the 20 truck, they're catching back up to these two guys. And ooh, wow! I thought maybe Fern was going to get in the back of Gavel there. So these guys are running hard right now. Hopefully not burning up their stuff, but unless you're Sherman and Braden and die, and maybe licking their chops and hoping maybe they screw up once and they can get around the wreck, or they burn their tires up and they can pull around them.
Haven't seen any incidents so far today. Been a very clean one-off race. Can't say that's what I was expecting, because when you got a bunch of guys with some unfamiliar drivers in there, you can kind of expect some craziness. But we've had a really good clean race. Everybody really minding their P's and Q's, trying to take care of everybody else on the racetrack, and that's what you get when you got a bunch of pros in there, and then the drivers of the Elite Racing League who are. Oh well, as I say that, there goes Colin Fern and Jared Rexing.
It was
caution number 1.
It was brewing for a while, and there it is. Colin Fern goes around, and Rexing getting involved as well. I believe no caution right now. They are having manual yellows, but I'm surprised with the car facing. Surprised with no yellow. It's official. No yellow call for that. Kind of a head scratcher there a little bit because he had a car facing the wrong way. That was kind of dangerous going into turn 1, but they keep going green. And unfortunately for Colin Fern, who's been in the top 5 for all of this event, unfortunate as they kind of both went for the same real estate. As we'll pull up the replay. It looks like he kind of turned down just a little bit. Again, just that kind of aggressive blocking we've seen both the 86 truck and the 10 as they're kind of diving into these corners.
I don't know if we can maybe get on board on Jared Rexing in the 10 car, maybe see what he saw going into that corner. My first thought, though, is to take a look at the job he does keeping this 10 car straight. He drifted it most of the way through that first corner. Yeah,
it was a good job for him to save it, because he very easily could have been going around as well. And I believe if those, totally sideways, able to hang it on, just dirt tracking a little bit. That was pretty cool. But I believe when usually Elite or a lot of different leagues, when they do manual cautions for these events, because sometimes they can get a little crazy. Fortunate enough, this has been clean. But when they do a manual yellow, they usually do it for an incident that involves 2 or more cars. I mean, you could say the 10 and the 86 were involved in that, but kind of the only one that was out of commission there for a little bit was that 86 truck. So they'll keep going green here as we're going to complete lap 60 of 80.
Ryan Gavel has kind of run down Ryan Lutz a little bit here. The lead was oh, that's Jordan Owens and Ryan Gavel get into each other, and there's one upside down on the front straightaway.
But he's flipping, and it looks like everyone's somehow, some way going to avoid him, but unfortunate. I mean, we'd have to maybe check out the replay, what happened here, David, but it might have just been a case where it could have been either net code or I don't know if Owens got a little loose coming out of the corner, but unfortunate, just as you were talking about him. And it looks like everything's good.
Oh, look at that. That might have even been net code there.
Yeah.
In iRacing, there's a little bit of a box around the vehicles, and it gets bigger when the connection is a little bit worse. And Jordan Owens has already kind of lagged out of the race tonight, had rejoined, hoping to maybe get some wave arounds under the caution. And that just did not work out for Jordan Owens. The box around him a little bigger than Ryan Gavel was expecting, and he goes barrel rolling down the front straightaway.
We do have an update on kind of what happened here. Well, Rish, what do you got for us?
Yeah, but from the word down on pit road, it seems like it was another internet issue there that seemed to happen. It was either on the side of Gavel there or Owens, and yeah, just that box you guys were talking about. As you see, Thomas Sherman almost loses it entering pit road, as we do have a car losing it entering pit road. Also, look out.
Braden.
It might have been Travis Braden. Yeah, it was, I think. Also, look out for the 86 and the 10 next time they see each other on track. Colin Fern very much not pleased with Jared Rexing after that move you saw earlier. That did not bring out a caution flag.
Yeah, we might see some more tempers as they go on to pit road as Travis Braden in that 20 truck. Again, our 2019 Snowball Derby winner. Man, that's some heavy damage to his truck. But I think we have maybe the lone gunman that stayed out is Ryan Lutz. He was the only one to stay go on pit road that was in the top 10. But Ron Capps, he's another car that stayed out. So a couple cars choosing to stay out or maybe miss the pit road. Ryan Lutz, it maybe appeared that I've seen him do this before. I don't know if this is what he kind of had planned. But if there's anyone to do it to stay out on old tires, we'll see if he ducks down on pit road here. I've seen him do it before. I think he has a shot at least doing it again.
Ryan Lutz is in the wrong spot there. 17 laps to go in this race. Everyone else is do what the leader doesn't here. You know what I mean? Ryan Lutz stays on the racetrack. No one else is staying on the racetrack. Those guys need to do something different. They're covered by Ryan Lutz right now. So fresh rubber, that's what it's going to take. Then they need to go for it. As we see, I know that Chad Frankenfield definitely trying to give laps back to this group so that they can kind of make up for that internet issue that cost a bunch of guys several laps in this race.
Yeah, I think Brandon Brown is back with us here, so kind of good to see him back out there as well. But yeah, so I think the best thing for Ryan Lutz, hopefully, are some of the other trucks, like Caps, Rabilis, and Fern. I believe those 4 trucks all stayed out and did not pit under this caution. But as Rish was alluding to too, once we see the 86 truck and the 10 truck together, Colin Fern is in 4th spot, the last truck that did not pit under that caution. And the first one that got off pit road is the 10 truck of Jared Rexing. He's in 5th. So there could be some fireworks on this restart, and maybe that'll fall right into Ryan Lutz's lap for staying out under this caution.
We saw the replay a couple of times of the Colin Fern Jared Rexing incident. It looked like Rexing just peeked his nose underneath entering turn 1, and Fern didn't expect it. As for the other, when Rexing threw the block down the back straightaway, I can understand where Fern might be upset there, but that turn 1 incident, that looked like a racing deal to me. I'm sure the stewards have agreed. We didn't see any penalties levied against either driver there. So Ryan Lutz, though, yeah, his best friends are definitely going to be the 3 trucks behind him with no tires that may hold up these guys on fresh tires and give him a chance to get out in clean air and get away from this field.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, and no penalties given there to Rexing in that 10 truck, but sometimes you can have a driver disagree with the call, and he might do his payback once he gets back out there on track. So we'll see if cooler heads do prevail or not, as kind of look through the field here as they are getting everything kind of sorted out, as I believe we do have some more server issues, I do believe. Oh wow, I believe the 28 car had some issues taking out some cars and disconnected, so Interesting. So I believe it's the server issues that are kind of popping up, because that doesn't sound like anything Joshua Clark would do on purpose. So there must be still some server issues going on, but these guys are trying to do the best they can with what we're kind of working with tonight.
Man, just massively disappointing that we've run into this issue on this night. Kind of somewhat marring what has been a really good race. We've seen a lot of really close racing from some of these guys. Definitely been pleased with the product we've put out there, and just seems like the internet issues causing some major catastrophes in terms of what's been going on across the field. And we've lost out on a number of pros from Simon Sykes. Kaz Grala had some issues earlier. Just a rough one here tonight from everybody who's been involved in this internet kind of blackout, I would say.
Yeah, so yeah, it's very unfortunate, but we still got a lot of trucks out here battling for the win here in the Gateway 100 presented by CK Power, as the field is going to double up to get going back to green. Ryan Lutz choosing that outside line once again, and again, his best friend right now is going to be those three trucks behind him, Kaz Grala and Fern, who also stayed out on tires. How is this going to be? Oh, and they're calling off, I believe, the caution or the green flag. They're just about to get back on green. So still kind of dealing with some server issues as well, but hopefully we get everything situated here. Oh,
yeah, I was gonna say, you can see the 86 and the 10 are currently side by side there, and
it looked like there's a little rub in there under caution.
hopefully that issue is now resolved, and those guys go about racing their normal race. I do hope that's the case. They go ahead.
Send this message. Now we're done. Battle it out on the track. Hopefully, kind of similar, but maybe not quite to the end result of what they were doing earlier. They were putting on a pretty good show before Fern was spun around, and Fern hopefully already showing him that he was displeased with that move, and they can move on from that.
So the guys who are going to be chasing down Ryan Lutz with tires are Jared Rexing, Thomas Sherman, Alexander Van de Sant, Shane DiMantova in the 200 truck, and then RC Anderson, one of our pros, as well as Daniel Dye and TJ Majors. And then Damian Leininger, who was up front all day early in the race and ended up with a pit road issue. So those are the guys chasing down Ryan Lutz with tires.
And they do it. We'll find out as the pace truck dives off, and they're going to take the green flag. And Ryan Lutz, once again, looks like he's going to get a pretty good jump on that outside. And he's going to take a big advantage going down into turn one. But behind them, things are getting a little crazy as Rexing's looking to get 3 wide with Sherman and Caps, but they get through that as the field jumbles up behind them.
There we go. TJ Majors involved. Rebelis takes out Leininger, and that's going to be a big crash that throws us back under caution.
That was, the big one. Derek Lemke getting a pretty heavy hit. I've seen one truck disappear, not quite sure what happened there. I see Jeff Green, I believe, is another truck that got spun around. So that was kind of in front of a big chunk of the field there. And unfortunate on this restart was kind of the big one.
That was the big one, and that's not what Ryan Lutz wanted to see, I don't believe.
Oh, they're still green. Oh, wow. They are still green. No yellow thrown so far, so that's interesting. There's quite a few cars involved in that one. But so I guess for Lutz, that's probably the best thing you could see was no caution.
Yeah,
oh, now the caution's out. Now the caution's out. Sorry about that. That was not updated.
So it looks like TJ Majors got into Mark Rebelis to start that one off there. And the big lead Ryan Lutz had right there was his best friend. Unfortunate that he won't be able to keep that lead here, and he'll have to make another good restart.
Yeah, and again with those trucks behind him that did not pit, I believe now it's only Colin Fern that kind of separated it, and yeah, it just looks like things were kind of stacked up. Mark was on the inside of Shane DiMantova. TJ Majors gets into him, and just calamity behind him. Harrison Talion, what a save by him. And Damian Leininger was the other truck that got involved with some heavy damage there as well. But man, unfortunate for all those trucks involved. getting damage here as, again, Ryan Lutz trying to hang on with those old tires. He hasn't pitted since our halfway yellow. And man, it's still gonna be a tough task for him to hang on to lead this, but now we're gonna have under 10 laps to go by the time we take green. David, do you think he can hang on and win this thing?
Look, history tells me to go with the tires, right? You want to have fresh rubber. But if I know anything about Ryan Lutz, he was out front so much, he saved his tires, and he's got nearly as good rubber as the rest of these guys, and he's got all that speed and talent that he's able to get those big leads. So, it's hard for me to bet against Ryan Lutz here tonight, but yeah, the only way it's going to happen is if one of these guys with fresh tires, Thomas Sherman, Jared Rexing, is able to kind of put together some clean laps and get up to his back bumper.
See, anytime I've doubted Ryan Lutz on a tire strategy call, I think it's worked out in his favor. And maybe I'm putting a little too much confidence on him and it won't work. But again, he still has that buffer in the 86 truck of Colin Fern as well. But right behind him is going to be that 34 truck and Thomas Sherman on fresh tires. And Jared Rexing, we've seen how fast he can be as well. So this is going to be an interesting, last couple laps of the shootout. I believe probably around, 7-8 laps to go by the time we go back green. So that's all really Ryan Lutz needs to hang on and in the lead. And especially kind of as you were alluding to earlier, David, with this track, it's one thing to catch a guy, but it's another thing to pass him as well. So that's probably maybe what Lutz was thinking. Well, has to think now that he's stayed on these old tires, kind of made his bed.
Yeah, and I want to mention a couple of guys that have kind of snuck their way back up into this race. Brennan Poole is back up into 11th after some earlier woes on the pit road. So Poole back in the hunt for a top 10 finish in this one, and then Brandon Brown back up into 16th after connection issues, got some wave arounds. And is going to be, I think, with a clean truck. I don't believe he was involved in that wreck. So, watch out for Brandon Brown on this restart. Maybe he can make some moves and sneak his way back up into the top 10 or 15.
And I got to make a shout out to one guy. He's in the 15th spot in the 89 truck. Right ahead of Brandon Brown is that 89 truck of Brent Jones. We saw him in that heat race. Didn't have a lot of speed in practice or qualifying. He's had some tough luck. He's missed some shows in the SMRI Production Grand National Series. But here he is. He's, in a race of attrition, he's always smooth, he's always clean, and he's back up there with a solid top 20. So good run for Brent, and yeah, hopefully he can put himself up in the mix here as we're winding down. But we're gonna get ready to go back green here. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we remember we do have a couple of trucks up here on older tires. Colin Fern's tires have been spun, and then Ron Capps as well on old tires in the 28 truck there, the striking blue truck on the inside. So watch for those guys, but everyone else is going to have tires around Ryan Lutz. We'll see if he can hold them off heading into turn 1 here.
And we'll see as the pace truck's ready to dive off. Let's see what kind of jump Lutz can get with those old tires. Looks like he's going to get a pretty good one on that outside as they go back green here in the Gateway 100, presented by CK Power. As, yeah, he's gets a pretty good advantage as they go down to turn 1. And these two guys, we've seen them not play nice before. And, oh, they get together, pushes them up the track. Oh, he's spinning. They're beating and banging off each other, but they stay straight. What a masterful piece once again by Rexing to save the truck. But unfortunate for him, he's going to be out of contention. And right now, taking advantage of that is Thomas Sherman. He's going to be in second spot with those fresh tires. He's going to be looking to chase down Ryan Lutz.
What a run this would be for Thomas Sherman. This guy is he's a good driver. Been running up in the top 10 or 15 in our SMRI home place series on Monday, and he hasn't really put one together to win a race. To throw together a win here in this race would absolutely be huge for him and what he's going for. Got a couple of pros behind him, though. He's going to have to fend off, and Daniel Dye and R.C. Anderson and Shane DiNantova into the top 5.
And they're mixing it up. I believe we had one truck that kind of spun there, and the number 68 truck of Brandon Brown kind of went around. So I think he's on pit road right now getting his truck fixed. Unfortunate for him, but as we concentrate still here on this battle for the 5th or 4th position, DiNantova is giving all he can to R.C. Anderson in that 99 truck, but as I'm looking at the interval between Lutz and Sherman, it's kind of been hold steady at about 0.6 of a second. So Lutz staying on those old tires. As of right now, Sherman cannot get that advantage with those fresh tires with about 5 laps to go here.
It's tough, man. Thomas Sherman not used to being in that spot, the kind of the hunting down the leader's spot with that fresh rubber. I mean, he has to put together the 4 best laps of his life here coming up if he wants to chase down and pass that 36 truck. Ryan Lutz, just an absolute master at saving tires and running hard on old tires, when the tires have worn. As R.C. Anderson around Daniel Dye, that's a battle of pros for the top finishing pro driver in this one. Shane DiMantova right in the middle of it too, one of our sim drivers, and so close to Daniel Dye.
Yeah, lap traffic might have played a little bit of a factor in that battle, but they are able to keep it collected, keep it going, and Shane sending it down into turn number 1. But I don't know if he's going to be able to get that drive off. It looks like they're pretty close to beating and banging with just a few laps, 4 laps here to go. This is shaping up, maybe not for the win here, because I think still maintaining that lead Lutz is over Sherman, but these guys are trying to get everything they can, even if there's no prize, no points on the line. A racer's got his pride. He's gotta get whatever he can.
Yep. RC is one of our racers in the Elite Racing League each week. So Daniel Dye, the first one to kind of jump into a fresh race with some strangers and put together a 4th place run. That's extremely impressive from him. But the battle is definitely going to be for second, I think, between R.C. Anderson and Thomas Sherman. R.C. is coming, man. If he had a few more laps, he might be able to go to get Ryan Lutz.
Yeah, as they're becoming to 2 laps to go, it's going to be that battle for second spot. We know R.C. can be good on these short runs. Can he run down that 34 truck? And I think the clock is kind of ticked for him to catch the 36 truck of Ryan Lutz, but still kind of a hard for him to having a tough time trying to catch that 34 truck of Thomas Sherman, or the number 2, I guess, in the program. Oh, he dives so hard going down to the corner, but just can't quite get there as we're coming down to the white flag lap.
That's where R.C. Anderson makes up all of his time. The battle will be for second. Ryan Lutz takes the white flag. That'll be 1 lap to go for this race here at Gateway. Rightly remember the name of it.
Oh, it's the Gateway 100 presented by CK Power.
That's
as they're driving hard and going into the corners, seeing if he can get that second spot. But here we go, coming into turns 3 and 4. And I don't think RC's going to have anything for him as they're starting to close in a little bit, but it's too late. It's the bad boy, Ryan Lutz, coming off turn 4. He's going to win here at Gateway, the Gateway 100 presented by CK Power.
Ryan Lutz, another win this week. That's 3 in a row. Just a masterful performance tonight. Saved his tires and outran the guys on fresh rubber. Just a power move there from Ryan Lutz.
Yeah, he's at least getting that broom out of the closet, getting ready to pull off the sweep here. What a masterful piece, staying out performance, staying out on old tires, able to maintain that distance until he took that checkered flag. So what a win by Ryan Lutz. That was another statement victory for him in that 36 truck. Again, kind of running down some of the top 5, as we've seen Sherman finishing 2nd, R.C. Anderson 3rd, Daniel Dye in 4th, and getting a nice solid top 5 is Shane DiMantova in the 5th position. As you see, Lutzy burning them down.
Celebrating it up, Ryan Lutz. That's the 3rd time this week. He's getting real good at that. The burnouts on the front straightaway of these racetracks, definitely. And those are 3 different tracks, I believe, that he had. Took down Auto Club on Sunday night, then took down, I believe, Iowa yesterday. Now Gateway tonight. He'll be going for 4 in a row at Milwaukee tomorrow here on the Elite Racing Network.
Yeah, and he's a fan of those flat tracks, and we've seen it here tonight as he put on a masterful performance once again. As you look down through the top 10 and kind of going past Rexing, able to get back up into 6th after that restart and falling back quite a bit, able to salvage a solid top 10. Travis Braden, we've seen his issues on pit road under that last caution, able to hang on into 7th. Colin Fern in 8th. Derek Lemke running in 9th. And Nick DeGroot rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, we got a number of guys in here to interview, some of our pro guys that we want to thank. I think maybe we'll try to stick to 1 or 2 questions per guy here, maybe just one each. Yeah.
We got her pretty filled up, but I think who should we bring in first here, David? We got a slew to pick from. We got Daniel Dye, who finished in the 4th position.
Let's go with our top finishing pro driver, RC Anderson.
Or RC. Oh yeah, he finished 3rd. Let's go with RC. Let's bring him in. RC, that was a good run tonight. Just didn't quite have enough to get that 2nd spot. Did you think you had anything for him there at the end?
I think I had something for Sherman and Lutz. I mean, obviously we wanted to go a little bit further. I know I was in Discord with Lutz, and he was like, more yellow. So it's kind of tough. But I know we had good tires. I was gonna dump Sherman, or at least try to give him a nudge there on that last lap, but I just didn't have enough. And I mean, I'm pretty good friends with him, so I didn't want to dump him, and I figured taking P3 was enough.
RC, was it really cool out there seeing, you're one of those pros, but you run with these guys all the time. How did everybody kind of handle themselves out there, running between pros and regular old sim racers?
A lot of fun. I mean, you saw a lot of the pros up front, and we got the race together, which is completely new for me. I'm normally running with everybody here at Elite, but obviously Lutz winning, that's no mystery. Competing with these guys and getting some pros in here, I feel like they'll catch on, and maybe hopefully we get some of them to run seasons with us, or at least a couple more races of our normal season. And I think it's a good introduction, because a lot of these guys, same as me, we don't get to drive as often as we would like to. So if you get to add day-to-day driving on the internet, it makes it a lot more fun, and you get to do the thing get to keep doing the thing you love.
So one more quick question I got to ask you. Since you don't get to drive on a regular basis, in real life, what can you take from running in the sim to the real world?
I mean, one of the biggest things, I've never really liked the sim as far as training. If you've been somewhere in a certain car, doing the sim over and over again is not going to really help. But if you're trying to learn a new track, or trying to figure out kind of the differences between, I'd say, like an Indy car versus a Cup car on a road course, it's you can really kind of learn the differences between the 2 cars. But besides that, as far as like day-to-day training, if you've already been there in that car at that track, it's not really helping that much. But it at least keeps you in the flow of things rather than doing nothing.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But thanks again, RC, for joining us up here in the booth, and congratulations on a solid top 3 finish.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And I'd just like to do a huge shout out to Chad. I mean, he puts together all this stuff, and you guys up here in the broadcast booth. It's huge for us to get to be able to do this and have these amount of pros come in and have a good time like this. I hope we get to do way more of these.
Yeah, I hope so too. This is a pretty good event. Again, that was RC Anderson, your 3rd place finisher here in the Gateway 100, presented by CK Power. And we'll kind of knock down some of these pro guys. I know Lutzy's probably chomping on the bit, but he's used to these interviews. We'll bring in our next guy, Daniel Dye, here into the booth, and we'll get an interview with him. And Daniel, kind of hanging around that top 10 most of the day, ended up getting a solid 4th place finish. How'd the truck feel out there tonight?
We did pretty good. It was kind of a good deal for me. I joined on last minute to run this race, so I had fun. Top 10. I ran my buddy Josh Kunzbeck, so it was cool running with him tonight. And top 10, and then there towards the end there was that wreck, and just trying to make some aggressive moves that worked out for us there, got us into the top 5, and thought I was going to hang on to 3rd, but whoever finished 3rd, I can't remember right now. They were rolling pretty good, got around us without too much trouble. So probably out of 6th or 7th place truck or driver, I guess, since it was a fixed race. But I had a lot of fun for sure.
Daniel, did you notice any of those sim racers catch your eye out there that were running really well with you?
I was trying not direct the whole time, so I didn't get a whole lot of time to look around. I had fun. I don't get to iRace a whole lot, so it was fun being able to run with some of these guys that run the Elite Racing League all week and every week. So it was cool being able to run good against some guys that do it all the time.
Again, awesome run for you, Daniel. Thanks for joining us up in the booth. Before we send you off, any shout outs you want to give out?
Yeah, I just want to thank Kevtron Media and Ben Kenny Racing. We're gonna go try and win us an ARCA East race this weekend, so it was cool being able to get a little bit of racing in before we head to Pensacola.
Awesome. Well, best of luck to you there, and thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks, y'all. Have a good night.
Yep, you too. All right, next we'll bring in, I believe finished in the 11th spot is the NHRA drag racer Ron Capps, and we'll bring him up for see how he enjoyed the race here tonight. Ron, probably not the best finish that you wanted, but still a decent night after some of the calamity that you had to go through.
Yeah, no, it was. Believe me, I got in and I really hadn't had a chance to practice. I just got back from Indianapolis. We had a bunch of photo shoots and stuff. So all I'm thinking about flying back is I got to get on the track and get some seat time. And I jumped in here for practice and I was almost dead last. I thought, oh boy, this is going to be ugly. But just kind of stayed after it. And these guys are so good. It was kind of fun for the leaders actually to lap me the first time because I got to watch their lines a little bit. And then we got our lap back and I sort of went in and got tires, and then I stayed out that last caution, just hoping. And then it was about 18 laps to go, and Nick DeGroot and a couple other guys, we were battling there just to stay in top 10. But just a great time, and Worldwide Technology and Chris Blair and that whole racetrack. But Chad and Elite, everybody that puts these races on, it's just a blast to race against guys this good on iRacing.
Ron, talk really quick, I guess, about how the transition goes for you from jumping onto the sim versus running the drag cars. It's got to be a little bit different skill set.
Yeah, no compare. I get to go do a lot of cool stuff. I've gotten to test with iRock back before they quit, and I ran the Prelude to the Dream with Tony Stewart all those years in the dirt cars, and I've jumped in midgets and things. So I'm used to jumping in stuff. But man, through quarantine and what Chad and Elite and all the guys have done, and really all these races, going different cars, different tracks, and this is, gosh, I got to tell you, one of the hardest oval. I guess we can call it oval, but it's for the people just watching, it's not just an oval. It's so difficult to drive this racetrack. So you got to give a lot of credit to these guys that ran really good here. So yeah, it's fun for me. But man, I don't even think I'm when I approach a race like this that I'm even going to be top 10 because I can't fool myself into thinking I got the seat time that these guys do.
Yeah, I mean, still pretty good effort finishing just outside the top 10 in 11th. And got to say, it was a pretty cool truck that you ran out there tonight. But before we send you off here, Ron, any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, just again, Elite, Rich Flores, they're jumping in all kinds of stuff that I've been racing lately, and I love that. And of course, Chris Blair at Worldwide Technology, but just all the guys that I get to jump in and race with, they kind of give me a little bit of room, and they don't expect that I'm going to do dumb things out there. But mainly just a shout out to Elite for putting it on. I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, it's great having you. And thanks again, Ron, for racing with us tonight. And good rebound for that 11th place finish.
Thanks, man. See you guys.
Yep, see you. That was Ron Capps, and we got more guys to bring in here. We still got quite a few guys here in the waiting room here. I believe we can bring in Braden DiMantova. We can bring in Lutz, our winner. Who should we bring in next? I'll let you make the call here, Westergreen.
Well, let's get Travis Braden, the last pro we've got.
Pro. Yeah, we'll bring the pros in here. All right, and again, this is Travis Braden salvaged that 7th spot in that 20 truck after having a little issues on pit road. Travis, how'd the truck feel out there tonight?
Man, well, it was a little bit rough there, towards the end, but it's been a little while for me since I've been doing, any of these what I would call more professional style iRaces. So I was just kind of getting back in the swing of it, but had a lot of fun. And I qualified horrible, so I was trying to get towards the front and and it was a lot of work, but kind of made it work there towards the end, and it was fun that last short run there just to see how it shook out. Everybody had damage, I think, at that point, so it was quite a free for all.
Travis, how does driving the trucks compare to driving your late models there? Yeah.
It's so much different, really, to an extent. The trucks seem like they don't have a lot of power, but they're really kind of numb. They just kind of don't really grip all that well, and then all of a sudden you'll just like almost spin out, or you will spin out. So in real life, the late model stuff, they're one of the most one of the best handling cars in the world, and they have a ton of power, a ton of grip. So it's definitely a little bit more of a momentum thing with the trucks on here, which is a cool challenge, but definitely a learning curve.
Good, great, solid finish in 7th place here tonight for Travis Braden. And before we send you off here, when maybe will people see you next out on the track in the real world? And any shout outs you want to give?
Well, so I don't really know exactly right at the moment. We started a brand new short track racing team with BJ McLeod and his wife Jessica McLeod. My girlfriend Jess and I did, and so we're kind of getting that off the ground. A lot of work to go in. We're working with Fury race cars and got a brand new car on the way, and working through all the details. So you can definitely expect to see us at a lot of the bigger shows as the season goes on, and most of those aren't until summertime or the fall anyway. So I don't have a set date yet, but if anyone wants to check it out, just go follow me on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, and we will keep you guys up to date.
All right, be sure to do that. Again, thanks, Travis, and hope to see you out in an elite racing event in the near future.
All right, guys, send me an invite, and I'll try to make it happen.
Sounds good. Again, that was Travis Braden, our 7th place finisher, and now we'll knock out some of our elite guys who want to be interviewed. We'll bring in the 5th place finisher, Shane D. Mantova, and Shane. A solid run here tonight in 5th. You got to mix it up with the pros. How's it feel, man?
Heck yeah, good. It's really good, honestly. I wish we had a run like this in the regular late season, but man, I'm really happy with what we did tonight and took it to the pros, honestly.
Yeah, Shane. How was it running out there with Brennan Poole? I think Brennan Poole almost wrecked in front of you one time, and then at the end, R.C. Anderson, Daniel Dye. You were mixing it up with everyone out there.
Yeah, I mean, me and Daniel were going back and forth, or not back and forth, but like me and him had a good battle at the end of the race there. I was trying to get back to him, and because he was pinching me down a couple laps earlier and possibly give him the bumper, but I mean, it was a lot of fun. Obviously, it's just cool seeing these guys that you watch on TV and being able just to come onto the sim here and race, and come out here for me to beat them is even better. And like you said, Brennan Poole, I think that was really early on in the race. I kind of ran him down and then went to go pass him, and like he just got loose off the corner, and I just swerved and barely missed him. So that was crazy.
Yeah, it looks like you dodged some trouble there early on, even sometimes late in the going, but got that solid 5th place finish, and hopefully that'll bring some confidence and luck going your way in the future for more of these elite racing events that you can check right here out on the Elite Racing Network. But Shane, before we send you off, any shout outs you wanna do?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Obviously, you guys here at the Elite Racing Network, everything you do for the series, Chad, obviously, for putting all this together, World Wide Technology Raceway, for doing this, and all the pros that showed up. But my sponsors, obviously, everybody at Isabella Dementor Racing, especially Vic, come out here and helping me get a really good, confident run here tonight. Days Gone By Vintage Apparel, Brent Wenson, his crew over there, and Evo Sim Sport, Seth Rawls, all these guys that kind of just helped me through my career and got me to this point.
Awesome. Again, awesome job, Shane, and yeah, best of luck for you tomorrow night. But hopefully I beat you.
Yeah, thank you, good. Well, best of luck to you too, and it's gonna be a good battle with you there out on track as we're gonna send it.
That's right. Again, that's Shane D. Mantova finishing in that 5th spot here tonight in the Gateway 100, presented by CK Power. And next, we'll bring in our second place finisher, Thomas Sherman. He played the bridesmaid role here tonight, but didn't quite have enough for Ryan Lutz. But Sherman, overall, pretty good finish, finishing second spot behind or ahead of all those pros. But did you have anything for Ryan Lutz there?
I think I did. I was kind of surprised at how fast he was with worn tires, and I had brand new tires, and I just couldn't pull up to him. I was kind of overdriving the car, just looking at the wind, and just I overdrove, and I think I could have had him if I didn't overdrive it too much.
Yeah, Thomas, did RC Anderson play a factor at all once he got to your back bumper there as well?
Um, I mean a little bit, like on the last lap, but um, I don't really think he played too big a role. I was more focused on trying to catch Ryan Lutz.
Yeah, and hopefully, finishing second spot. Do you think that will get you a little bit more confidence once we go into more of these league races and then you can start contending for some of these wins?
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of I've had bad luck the last few league races, but once I can hopefully get some of that luck back on my side, I think I can contend up there in the top three and maybe for a win hopefully soon.
Yeah, hopefully. But again, awesome second place run. Any shout outs you want to give out there tonight?
I mean, I gotta thank Chad for being able to put this race together, and be able to do these programs and be able to race some professionals.
Yeah, so yeah, it's pretty cool. Hopefully, you'll have more of these in the future. And best of luck to you in some of these elite races. And hopefully, you'll break through and get that first win.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. And that was Thomas Sherman, our second place finisher. So now we'll finally bring in our race winner. He's been waiting patiently, just as he didn't do on the track. It's the bad boy Ryan Lutz. So far, so good with how you're running in some of these elite races here. This is the third win so far this week. It's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, this one probably feels the sweetest of them all. I didn't think we were that good. I knew we fired off pretty good, and I figured I'd just ride and see where we were going to run there. And I figured those guys would come back to us a little bit. And we were just really good, really turned through 1 and 2 and turned Apex and 3 and 4 really good, and was just able to work my way by Colin and that whatever that other guy was. I don't even remember, but we were just able to get the lead there and just had a really good truck. And thought I shot myself in the foot there, staying out like I always do. But when you, in my opinion, you just got to stay out and control your own destiny, and that's what we did. We got up on the wheel and just snuck away with it, and really had a good truck, even with old tires, and just got it done.
Were you saving your tires at all, Ryan? There on that run before the caution?
I knew this. I had a gut feeling something was going to happen. So I was lifting almost at the start finish line, coasted in there, and really not. Honestly, the last 10 laps of that run before the caution, I wasn't even downshifting. I was just rolling it in there and just trying to save the right front in case somewhere like this was going to happen. And fortunate enough, I think there was 3 guys that stayed out of the old tires, which just put us enough cushion to get away in a one. But I think I still had plenty of tire left. I know I was better on lap times than Thomas running second anyway, and I think we had a really good truck.
Now, I probably feel a little stupid asking you this, Lutz, because I probably know the answer. But did your confidence waver when you seen the field behind you duck down pit road and you're staying out?
Oh, I wish you heard the Discord. I was not a happy camper. You get put in that spot. I've been in this spot, I don't know, probably 200 times in Elite, and when you get stuck in a bad spot, you don't know what to do. If you come in, everyone's staying out. If you stay out, everyone's coming in. So what would you rather do? Would you rather have track position, or would you have to bull your way to the front? And I thought track position was key, and I always do. And we were just able enough to, I'm just hit your marks, man, and just not mess up. Hit your marks every corner, and just have good drive off, and you should be okay. And if the cards don't fall your way, they don't fall your way. It ain't your day. And lucky enough, tonight was their day, and what a week it's been.
Yeah, and if card game, if I had a bet on a man with to win a race on old tires, you'd possibly, or you would be that guy that I would put my money on. But again, congratulations for winning this race tonight. Again, 3 in a row so far for your in elite competition. But anyone you want to give a shout out here for tonight?
Of course, I mean everyone that puts a lead on. Chad does an awesome. This was an awesome race to run. I know we had a lot of pro guys that got a lot of viewers, and it was really cool to do that. Rich, David, Michael, you guys always do great in the booth. Thanks to Old Testament Firearms. They were on the truck tonight with a new scheme, so that was maybe a little bit of good luck. But just thanks to all the big names that came out. I know Kaz Grala was there, TJ Majors, Daniel Dye was there, RC Anderson. He's always good with us. Because all the pro guys, man, I'm pretty upset that Kyle Busch wasn't here. When I heard he wasn't coming, I knew he was. It wasn't as sweet as if he was here. But just everyone, man. Miss Goodies, Hugh Goodman, PFC Brakes, Chris Delvick Racing, Spider Whalux, Natural Designs, just everyone that supports me each and every week, and hopefully tomorrow we'll go to the Cup Series. Milwaukee is a good track for me. Won there Xfinity, it's flat and it's right on my wheelhouse. So if we can make it a perfect score, it'd be perfect to do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I was gonna say one quick final thing there, Lutz. You winning tomorrow at Milwaukee?
I'm gonna try, man. If there's I can tell you if there's one driving me to win, it's that race, and we're really good there. It's just like Loudon. Loudon's my favorite track, and that car's got a lot of bite. I practiced it yesterday, and Milwaukee's a good track for me. We led almost every lap in Xfinity, won the race there. So if the cars work out fine, we have good long runs. Good long run car. We don't make mistakes, and we don't get in any trouble. I don't see why we would.
Well, again, best of luck for you tomorrow in that event, and get that broom ready.
Appreciate it, boys.
All right, that was Ryan Lutz, our winner of tonight's Gateway 100, presented by CK Power, and we'll bring in Chad Frankenfield, again, the man who put on the show here tonight, and did a heck of a job. And Chad, internet issues kind of made things a little crazy, but all in all, it was an awesome event.
We are not hearing him.
I think.
Hear me now?
There we go.
We got you. There we got you.
Sorry. Yeah, so I thought the biggest thing is the drivers having fun is the biggest thing. So I'm really happy with that. We had a couple of guys back out late because things popped up. I appreciate Kyle Busch, sending that tweet out. That really was really awesome for him to do that. He didn't have to do that. But I want to thank World Wide Technology Raceway. I went out there in 2019 because of our stuff that we do with the esports, and I was blown away. The track is first class. The racing is fantastic. The area is fantastic. You really couldn't ask for more from a racetrack as far as going to and going to an event. Want to thank C2 Freight, Richmar Florist, Maconi Setup Shop for coming on board tonight. Obviously, all the pros that showed up tonight, all the elite drivers. But again, I just want to thank Worldwide Technology Raceway. Make sure you guys, if you're listening to the broadcast, make sure you tune in. Or if you can't get there, tune into the race this summer at the IndyCar NASCAR weekend at Gateway. If you can get tickets, get there. I promise you're not going to regret it. We talk about oval racing, especially with IndyCar, how it's becoming a dying breed. But Chris Blair and Worldwide Technology Raceway, I mean, they pack the weekend with racing, and it's phenomenal. Between trucks, IndyCar, super late models potentially. I mean, there's so many cool things that they do there. So,
yeah, I got to ask you, Chad. Here, I'm maybe put you on the spot. With how fun this race was tonight, is there any plans on doing something like this again in the near future?
Yeah, I mean, the Elite Racing League, we're officially partnered with Worldwide Technology Raceway. That's why we typically have it on a lot of our schedules. So, I mean, with that, obviously we're constantly trying to plan things. During quarantine, we were able to put together, I think, one of the bigger esports events that were ran. We had, I think, 10 to 15 IndyCar drivers, a bunch of NASCAR drivers. It was really awesome. And we're going to plan on doing these events throughout. I mean, it's just awesome for us, awesome for the track. And I just want to thank World Wide Technology Raceway. It all started with Chris Blair just liking some tweets a couple of years ago, and anyway, I think it's just a great representation of what tracks can do. And I'm looking forward to this year.
It sounds like you got the dog back there getting a little crazy.
Yeah, she's actually in the other room squeaking on a toy. But I want to thank Madison Mabry also. I don't know if she's watching still, but I want to give her a shout out. The PR at the track, she's really goes above and beyond to help me out with these events. So I want to thank her. I want to thank Chris Blair at the track. Again, I want to thank everybody. Thank you guys, Elite Racing Network. We just basically debuted over the last month and a half, and make sure you guys click subscribe. David Westgreen, Michael Goodman, our producer Rishoff Kozla tonight, Vic Bloom, Ryan Gavel, all the guys that make up our team, the Whiskey Cask, all the awesome people that partner with us. I'm just glad that we can start to do this, and this is just the beginning. So we're looking forward to moving forward with this group.
Yeah, and it was fun to put this show on here tonight and be a part of it. And thank you, Chad, for that.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
All right, that was Chad Frankenfield. That's owner of the Elite Racing League, and David. So, got through all the interviews there, and after all the dust has settled, pretty good show we had here tonight.
I really did enjoy the racing. I thought it was exceptional. Generally, in the past, I haven't particularly enjoyed the way Gateway runs. But tonight, man, they were able to stay side by side, throw the trucks into the corners, really make up time, and get runs on each other down the straightaways. We saw a little bit of beating and banging. We saw some pit strategy. Everything you could ask for in a race, man. I'm really happy with it, and we got to watch our Elite Racing guys take part in a race against pros. The amount of stuff, the cool stuff that Elite Racing League has afforded us over the years here has been just absolutely phenomenal. We've all gotten to race against different pros in a number of different races, and this one's no different. Thanks a lot to guys like Brandon Brown, Brennan Poole, some of those other guys we weren't able to interview. Just a phenomenal night and a great event. And then also, like Kyle Busch, who wasn't able to show up, but did manage to tweet out about the race. And that was pretty gracious of him. He didn't have to do that either. So, tune in tomorrow, guys. We got another one tomorrow night.
Yeah, and you can check that right here on the Elite Racing Network. And that will be at, wow, brain kind of blank. That's 8:30, right, tomorrow?
Milwaukee tomorrow night, 8:30. Yes, sir.
8:30. Okay, I better get that right because I got to show up for that. So yeah, tune in right here to check out all the action right here on Elite Racing Network. But again, like to thank all of our sponsors: Rich Marsh, C2 Freight, McConey Setup Shop, and again, Worldwide Technology Raceway for helping us put this event on. And thanks, Chad, for putting the event together as well. But until next time, I'm Mike Goodman for David Westergreen. You guys all have a good night. See you next time.